On the eve of a major report on the UK's water companies, the Environment Secretary says the sector is clearly failing. Here, the Environment Secretary has refused to be drawn on whether the water regulator Ofwat will be scrapped. Steve Reed said that huge rises in bills and a failure to cut sewage pollution showed that the water sector was clearly failing, but stopped short of saying that Ofwat should go. He also criticised a pay rise given to the boss of Southern Water, calling it outrageous. Megan Owen reports.
From leaking pipes to record sewage spills and rising bills, the water industry is riddled with problems. How to solve them is up for debate. The government has announced what it's called a water revolution, aiming to halve sewage pollution in the next 5 years by investing more than £100 billion in infrastructure and bringing in new regulations. It follows increasing scrutiny of water companies, their performance and the salaries of their bosses. Among them, the chief executive of Southern Water, Lawrence Gosden, awarded extra pay which would almost double his income. Today, the Environment Secretary took aim.
I really think the companies need to look at what they're doing and the signal it sends to their customers, who are already rightly furious with them.
So you would clearly believe that Southern Water's boss should not take his pay rise, even though, as you pointed out, it's not actually...
I don't think Southern Water has performed well enough for that kind of a pay increase to be merited.
Southern Water say the salary follows protocols and rules set out by the regulator and in accordance with the law, and includes a relocation allowance and long-term incentive plan paid by shareholders. But it should have been stopped, say the Conservatives.
We gave powers to Ofwat to stop bonuses being paid out where there is failure.
This is bonus, this is salary, it's a different thing.
No,
it's the pay
it's a long-term bonus.
Yeah.
It's a long-term incentive plan that's paid out. I think the basic salary is £700,000, which is still an awful lot of money, but it's doubling of that through an incentive plan. That can be stopped through Ofwat.
This all comes ahead of a major review of the water industry tomorrow, which could see the regulator scrapped.
It's failed everybody. It's failed customers. We saw those huge bill rises. It's failed the environment. We see the state of iconic lakes like Windermere, beaches like the beach at Bournemouth. Clearly, regulation must change. Precisely how it changes, Sir John will make his recommendations tomorrow. I will respond.
The Liberal Democrats said the regulator should be replaced, with public benefit corporations taking the place of private companies.
It wouldn't cost the taxpayer huge amounts of money. The shareholders and the bondholders of the current water companies would take a haircut. They lose their money, and we could start afresh.
Whilst Reform UK wants to see the water industry put into public-private ownership.
So do we want government running these things? No, but does the state need to get some degree of control over vital national assets? Yes.
The long-standing debate about the future of the water industry and what that might mean for customers could be met with clearer answers tomorrow. Megan Owen, BBC News.
I'm joined now by our political correspondent Joe Pike, and as Megan mentioned, Joe, this big review tomorrow.
Absolutely, Rita. This document, this review, only landed in ministers' hands in their inboxes late last night. But from the conversations I've had with people in government, they are using language like revolutionary and radical. That's how they want it to be seen tomorrow. But if we take a step back, I think what is remarkable about all of this is that this one policy, water policy, is so central to the government's domestic agenda and really the political conversation. Now, partly that, of course, is because people care about the size of their water bills and the state of their beaches and rivers and lochs and lakes. But also, I'm told, Labour believe that this issue is central to maintaining their fragile electoral coalition. There are some Labour voters, perhaps to the left, who could be tempted by the Lib Dems and the Greens, who care about this issue for environmental reasons, and other previously Labour voters who care about it because of almost patriotism and a national pride and a feeling that things just aren't working. That is why the government are focusing on it. But Rita, promises are easy. It'll be much more difficult to deliver.